Coming to you live from our home studio, Backlot Studios here in Phoenix, Arizona.
See, I like that.
AZ.
Okay,
AZ, we're here.
perfect, yeah.
Phoenix. Uh-oh. Check 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2 1 2.
All right. Check 1 2.
Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2.
Okay.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
One
This is
second.
popping. Woo!
Tell me if you see the eyelash.
All right, guys.
It's fly. It's fly.
What do you know we're talking about?
So fly. I always know. Always.
Hey, Coupley Fit fam, welcome back to another episode. Today we are talking about one of the frequently asked questions that we get, which is, how do we be healthy together? Why is it so hard? What are some ways that, we can do health and wellness together?
And some would say it's easier said than done, but when you're on the same page, it is a game changer because you're going in the same direction.
Yes.
If one person is going to the vegan line, the other is going fast food, it's gonna be some tough decisions being made.
Yes, so we're going to be talking about the real struggles that happen with couples when you are dealing with health and wellness and why it's so hard to get healthy together. So, before we get started, please, if you are watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you are watching some of our clips on social media, please follow us at CoupleyFit, CoupleyFit. Let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about, first and foremost, are you and your partner aligned?
That's a big one, and I really think this might hit a nerve for somebody, but there are a lot of times where one person in a relationship is more active or more focused on their goals than the other person if you're at different starting points. And so the alignment sometimes is a discovery that maybe you're not aligned,
Right.
and you have to be the catalyst in your relationship, but sometimes it just starts with one person.
You're absolutely correct. And to your point, I think it's accepting that you're different. Accepting that like you said, we're starting at different points in our journey, but we also may have completely different goals, right? For you may want more, you're building your muscle. For me, it's just general health. I just want to feel better. So knowing that you can have different goals, that's perfectly fine as long as you are working together towards those goals in some way, right? Which is going to come probably in the meal prepping session or, in the activity section, right? And those things, and then finding out what's common and doing that together.
Yeah, I like the common part too, because so many times we think about the differences, and it's like, oh, I'm ready to hit the weights, and someone's doing cardio, but it's like, okay, where can we find that middle ground? And maybe it's literally walking at night after dinner, or something that cooking the meals, something that you all can find and bond over.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to go into, just talking about your why. Why do you want to get healthy? And having that open conversation with each other of, hey, this is why I want to get healthy. I want to do it for the kids, right? I want to do it for my general health. I just want to feel better. We've all been there where it's like, I just don't feel good. I feel like, we were just on a podcast yesterday and one of the gentlemen was talking about, he was running and he felt some of his body parts jiggling and he said, whoa, that was a wake-up call for me of I need to make some adjustments.
No, that's facts. I mean, I remember I went on a real bender, and I'm not talking about drinking, I'm talking about eating. I went on a real no calorie counting, free for all, eat whatever you want, and I really looked in the mirror after that weekend, and I was like, this has to stop. I said, oh no. I literally see it in my face. I see it, like you said, things jiggling or some love handles. You're like, wait a minute. This isn't supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to just enjoy the ice cream and the fried chicken.
So yeah, but again, right, if you share your why with me, then that gives me an opportunity to at least remind you maybe in that moment or after that moment where you are saying like, hey, oh my gosh, you know, I was eating good this past weekend. And usually for us, you'll come and tell me like, man, gained this much, lost this much, right? Those type of things. And so again, just telling your partner, this is why I want to get healthy. That's a great opportunity for you to remind them. And then also write that on a sticky note, right? And put that somewhere where you're seeing it. So it can be a reminder every day of, okay, yeah, I don't want to get active. You know, I can just go from, you know, working remotely in my office chair to going right over here a few steps to laying on the couch and throwing, binge watching something, right? But it's like, okay, I saw the sticky note, my why, I want to feel better, so let me go and get a 10, 15-minute walk in.
I love that you said that, and something else that came to my mind to that point that we do, and we've been doing more and more, we figure out what are your triggers.
Right.
For example, a trigger is going to the grocery store when you're hungry. I mean, how did the double stuffed Oreos get in the cart? I don't know. And you said,
Oh, and they're gluten-free for sure.
can I dunk it?
Yes.
So all
Yeah.
of those things happen when you're like, okay, so we can't go in here when we're on an empty stomach because I'm buying things I don't need.
Right.
Or we had a long day. We've got to have some food prepped at the house that's easy to be prepared. The plant-based meatballs, like prepping chicken, whatever that might be, to have a base and like a rice or bread to make sandwich, like something that you can make quickly so that it's not like, you know what, we're on the way home, let's just pick up that fast food. It was almost,
That's the one.
when I tell you,
That's one of the ones.
not only were we one exit, we were one decision away from Chick-fil-A. One decision away. And so sometimes it's just like, you know what, let's go ahead and save that, because eating at home, I didn't make the extra fry. I didn't have 6 dipping sauces, which I love, and it makes a big difference. If you feel that difference, you feel those little small changes or swan changes stack up.
No, yeah, you're absolutely correct, and that's right, going back to even one of our previous episodes where we were talking about discipline and how it's the micro habits, and that's what we're really talking about is it's the building of the habit and then the sticking to the habit. And the more that you can make the positive decision, in some cases it's the right decision, the better off that you're gonna build that muscle of discipline and just saying, no, I know we have food at home. And sometimes you have to tell yourself, what is your trigger? You know, one of your triggers may be, I don't like to waste money. So therefore,
I do have to remind myself.
therefore,
when
all
I see
the
the
food,
delivery fees, I feel offended.
yes,
I'm like, wait, this is double the price, we
How
gotta drop it
dare
off.
you.
How dare they?
how dare you?
But I just wanna add something to that too. Just one thing that I also noticed, it is a journey and a process. So meet your partner where they're at, or meet yourself and have grace for yourself, because one thing that we noticed too was, it started off and it was like, got a taste for dessert. I'm gonna go ahead and get the ice cream sandwich. Let's go ahead and order the full on, and it's like a big ice cream sandwich too.
Yes.
Then it went from the ice cream sandwich to frozen yogurt. Still the toppings, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, there's still cookie dough and all the toppings, but it's frozen yogurt, so it's like a scale down. We're getting better. And then it went from that to like a yogurt bar, right, at home that we're preparing, that's more controlled, but it's a healthier choice. So sometimes it also is like, you don't have to completely remove things that you love, because I think a lot of people
Right.
feel like they had that concern of like, what's life like if I can't enjoy my favorite peanut butter chocolate, whatever, or you know, there may be something you can replicate that's a protein bar that tastes like $100 grand or
Right.
something like that.
Right, and to your point, and we're gonna get into a little bit of meal prepping later, but I quickly, just because you mentioned this and it triggered something for me, if you are a person of color, there's gonna be some cultural foods that are staples. So one thing that we've been talking about too, just even on a larger scale, when you know you start talking about policy and how you can change perspectives around that, is realizing that you don't have to get rid of your cultural foods. And so I was just talking to my hairstylist today, and she's Brazilian, and she was saying, I have rice with every single meal. That's just a part of my staple, that's what we do. It's cooked a certain way, all of these things, and even seasoned a certain way. And I said, yeah, you shouldn't have to get rid of that because you think quote unquote carbs are bad. It's just about moderation, right? There's just little tweaks that you have to make to your cultural foods, but still being able to have that comfortable feeling that comes from it. Because sometimes, you know, you get something for us, right? When we cook catfish, woo, that brings you right back to being at Granny's house, right? Like that's something that is nostalgic. It's something that really brings you back to your roots in full circle. And so getting rid of that and saying you can't have that, that's gonna be.
I just can't have it every day.
Right. Like it's moderation, it's maybe even in the preparation, it's also in the portion size, right? So also think of it in that sense too, that you don't have to get rid of your favorite foods completely, especially when it comes to cultural foods, it's just adjustments that you're making.
I just want to shout out Girls is Popping.
Hey.
You know, I don't know if you want to give them
Hey. Shout out to my girl Sue. Come on. She is the one. So as we briefly get into, you mentioned that the goals are shared, right? You have shared goals, going back to your why, but although your health goals can be personal, it's still relational, right? And let's be all the way real. Your partner's, goals or the way that they're going about their health is also going to affect you. Like, let's keep it all the way real.
A perfect example of that, I think, is when we see, other parents going through that journey where wife is getting pregnant, or partners getting pregnant, and now husband is like,
I mean, good.
I ain't eating for 2 as well. And then you always see, some people do the paternity photo shoot. It's like the mom holding the belly and the dad got his belly out holding the belly. It's like, this is a food baby.
Food baby.
So yeah, like sometimes again, the routine is like, I get into that flow, and you end up being on the same routine and flow and kind of eating the same things, or sometimes the same portions.
Yes, and I think too, this brings it back to the motivation piece, right? Like if you don't have a partner that's as motivated on their health journey as you are, that can affect you, where it's, you're trying hard to eat the proper meals, you're trying hard to get active, right? Get your sleep, water, all of the things, but your partner's like, hey, I'm gonna bring this bucket of KFC chicken in here. Double up. And they're, and sometimes, being a little antagonistic and eating in front of your face, finger looking good, and
I'll tell you what, people that eat in their bed are diabolical. That's like, if you're eating
a lot of
a bucket of KFC in the bed,
it sounds pretty comfortable.
But if you think about how many crumbs
yes.
are falling, oof.
Yeah.
But to your point, though, like, no, it does make it, and that antagonizing, that can be hard. Like,
yes.
I know, but for me, I have to be mindful of it because you're gluten free. So I'll be having a gluten, that warm bread that comes out of the restaurant before the meal starts. These like, gluten.
Smells
and I'm like,
delicious.
So yes, balance.
But also realizing that, again, your habits, when it comes to your health and wellness, are going to impact your partner, and being mindful of that, although you're not on the same path, right, or even starting at the same starting line, it's still just knowing that, okay, I'm gonna at least try because you're trying, I want to support you in your journey, and so, just going back and forth like that is another way of saying, how can I support you?
And that support is so key, because when we look at the statistics, and there's so much data that's been released around how many people are struggling with health-related issues that are tied to lifestyle and diet.
Correct.
And you would think, oh my gosh, we're calling it all these other things. It's like, I don't know what happened. It runs in their family. And it's like, listen,
right.
It's the lifestyle, it's the
yes.
diet in almost 90% of the situations. And so that sometimes is the wake-up call when someone does get sick or gets dehydrated or hospitalized, or God forbid something happens to maybe an elder too soon and they pass away. And that ends up being the wake-up call for somebody like, ooh, so-and-so's dad or granddad passed at 50 or 45. And now you're like, man, I really want to turn a corner and get healthier now for my kids or my grandkids, or to be around for my future legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we're going to talk a little bit about why it's hard for most couples to stay on their health and wellness journey, or to even do it together. So we touch a little bit on one of your partner, or your partner can be motivated, but you may not be, or you're the disciplined one and your partner isn't. And that can be very tough, but I think, again, if you just are reminding your partner of, this is why I'm getting healthy and I need your support in this way, typically people are going to be more open, but it doesn't mean that they're going to change, right? So you may need to then find a support system, find a walking group, find an outside source that's going to keep you accountable. And sometimes that's your Apple Watch. When it says time to stand, it's like, oh, you know what, I have been sitting for some
Sometimes it
time
hits me
now.
hard, like, did you just tap me on my shoulder?
Yes, right? So sometimes it has to be that outside source, but to your point of what you said earlier, you may be the catalyst for your partner to then start feeling better with you. But it is, it's hard when you are the one potentially that's motivated and your partner isn't, and how to navigate that.
And I love what you said about the accountability, which can come in the form of technology, like a watch or a Fitbit or Apple Watch, or it can come in the form of getting a personal trainer.
Mhm.
It can come in the form of utilizing your pet, like your dog, where every time that dog goes by the door and is barking at the leash, it's like, oh, I guess we're gonna go for that walk. And then your partner builds up and is like, you know what? Every time you come back from that 5 or 10 minute walk, I mean, you just seem like you're more refreshed
Yeah.
and you're more rejuvenated. Like, can I walk? I'm gonna walk with you tomorrow.
Yes.
Or now both pairs, like you're putting your shoes on, now all of a sudden you see your partner's shoes by the door. And it's like, well, let's be honest, right? We all have, whether we wanna agree or not, some form of FOMO. Like
Right,
like,
that's what I was,
did you have some fun out there? Like, what happened on that walk?
yes.
You know, I can't even let you go out there and walk by yourself with the curls popping like that.
Ooh. To add to your point too, if you have kids, this is something that we've seen with previous clients, and then also people tell us that they do on their journey, if they're the ones that are the more, more motivated and disciplined, they say, I'll just ask my kids, hey, do you want to go to the park? Do you want to take your scooters out, right? Do you want to just come with, mom or dad on this journey to the mailbox, right? And so then it becomes, your kids are also holding you accountable, because kids get excited. It's like, okay, we have a little bit of a routine going. I like being able to get out and run around. Kids want to run around. I'm ready to get active in here. And if not, then just walking, right? Just being starting simplistic and then going and adding to that. And then the person that's staying home is, to your point, you're coming back and you've enjoyed yourself, you've had conversations with your kids, and the other person's gonna start to feel left out. It's like, you know what, the next time you go on a walk, let me know. It's like, let you know? Okay. We'll definitely do that. So I think that's a great one too.
And one thing I wanted to mention too, when you mentioned routine, one of the things that I love about our routine is being able to film from our home studio here at Backlot Studios in Phoenix,
Yes.
Arizona. Shout out to Backlot Studios, AZ. Come on now, we love it.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing too, and we've also gone through this too, is meal plan disagreements or just meal disagreements. Obviously for me, having a high food sensitivity, you also to some
I can't just eat the gluten-free bread, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if it's another husband in here. Let us know in the comments if you were trying to knock down that gluten-free bread like it's regular whole bread. Like, no, it's different. It's different.
It's getting better.
Slowly but surely.
So meal plan disagreements, right? That could be another reason why couples are just saying, hey, I don't want to do this health journey with you. This isn't something that makes me excited to do it. So if you have the meal plan disagreements, it's first, I think, figuring out what each person likes and building from there. And even if you're taking a step back, if you're going out to eat right now, where are you typically going? Are you having burgers and fries? Are you having tacos? Are you having Italian? Like where are you going? And try to recreate that at the house. That's a great way to just start, and then just build from there as you go, because the meal plan disagreements, they happen all the time, especially if you have a picky eater, for sure. And trying to figure and navigate that can be a little bit difficult, but there are ways to do that. And again, starting at a simplistic level and moving from there.
Yeah, and I'm the picky eater that you're referencing. I had to really expand my palate, which people would be like, what has your wife helped you do? What are the many things? Expanding my palate is one. There's certain things I wouldn't even try. Veal, not interested. Like this
Venison,
not interested. Sometimes you can taste it, you're like, must have grilled that just right.
Okay.
It's got a nice saute to it. But no, you're so spot on with that. And then also, when we think about the journey that you're on and doing it at home, because one thing that we hear from a lot of people is that people in households and nobody likes to cook.
Yeah.
So if that's not an option, and it's like, oh, we're not, just for the sake of taste buds and everybody not feeling comfortable eating the food at the house, what are the places that you're already going to eat at and eating out at, right? Is there a healthier option that you can get from that place? Or is there a bulk, like a kind of almost like catering order that you can do that gives you a mix of what everybody likes, right? So just as an example, one thing for us that I really love, sometimes you get tired of chicken and you're like, you know what, I'm over it. Like, I don't want any of the grilled chicken, but we'll go to a Mediterranean restaurant, but we'll order catering, which is like a bulk order. So you're getting the rice, you're getting the tapouille salad, you're getting also the chicken, but then they'll have your falafels in there that are gluten-free. I'm not touching the falafels, not interested, 0%. But that's a great example of like, we didn't have to compromise, and you had to eat chicken and I had to eat falafels. There's enough for both, and then we literally section that out into individual meal prep for the week. And now instead of spending, again, if you can look at your budget and really break things down, which you do a great job of, you're like, oh man, we were eating out with the DoorDash fees and we were spending $14, $15 a meal. We did the bulk, delivery, or did the bulk order of the Mediterranean food, and it was like $7 a meal, right? Like it ended up working out for half of what you spent running around and just spending money on the go versus packing that lunch and creating that flow and that rhythm. But you're gonna feel better. You'll notice that difference when it is something that's like cleaner, like grilled versus fried and some of those things, balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. And look to see what you already have in your pantry as well, because there's a lot of times where you have the foods in the pantry or in your freezer that you just need to pull out and make a meal from it.
True.
Right? And so it's something too where you can save that money, but then it's also the convenience of being at home. You also get to control the seasonings and the spices that go into it as well, because to your point, right, although that's a great first step, for the people that are already there need to take that second step, it is being able to control the amount of salt that goes into your food, the seasonings, those things, because that's where people really get caught up, even down to the dressings. You'd be surprised how many, not only sugar, but.
Come on now, I take, because I'm a sauce dipper.
Yes.
And for those that don't know what a sauce dipper is, you get this basically in almost all of the sauces, and you just want to kind of dip a little bit of everything. Dip your chicken finger, dip your whatever into fries, into the different sauces. But to your point, I'm not looking at the calorie count on the Polynesian or the Chick-fil-A, no, or the range. I'm just dip. But it all, especially as we get older, right? Like I maybe didn't worry about those calories when I was playing football and my metabolism was faster. Now it's like, you know what? Let me monitor how much sugar I put into my coffee, or like the little things that can stack up and be like cutting out one of the, even like let's take a second and just talk about the sugary drinks. Like that was such a game changer for us. Of like, we don't bring them in the house. Like we don't bring in a lemonade or Gator. I'm not gonna put Granddad on blast. I love you, Granddad. I just kind of did.
Looks like you did.
But basically, he's like, basically, Granddad telling me he's an athlete. I'm golfing a couple of days a week. I need my Gatorade to stay sharp. And I'm like, there's 50 grams of sugar in that Gatorade. He's like, what do you mean? This is good for me. Like, they got Michael Jordan on a commercial dunking a ball and drinking Gatorade. It's like, well, it is a little bit misleading thinking that it's a performance sports drink, but that 50 grams of sugar does not have.
That's really what's fueling you.
That's not good. You don't need that part.
Correct.
Like what the water can also do.
Correct. So another thing too of why it's hard for couples to get on the same page when it comes to health and wellness is that we talked about a little bit, is that timing misalignment. Where timing wise, again, right, one person may not be ready. I'm not even ready to start. And you're ready to start, you're doing all of the things. You've got the new workout clothes, new workout sneakers, right? Headband. You have a new music playlist. You are ready.
Band on the arm.
Yes, you are ready. And the other person is like, I still want to be hanging out.
I'm watching Netflix.
I'm watching Netflix. I'm playing video games, right? Or whatever that looks like for you. But timing misalignment, that's another thing that we've heard over time from couples of just saying like, it's really hard when I'm in this level, I'm at this level,
Yeah.
and my partner is not. So I would say give your partner grace to be able to get to where you are or even to start. And when they do, give them that positive reinforcement and that encouragement of like, wow, oh my gosh, I just saw that you made this change, right? You went from, you added an extra bottle of water today, or I saw you do some extra steps today, like congratulations, you're doing a great job. Maybe next time, if you want, I would love for you to come on a 10-minute walk with me. And typically what we've seen is that people are at least open to it and receptive, and it may take a couple of times asking, like don't ask one time and then if the person says no, it's like, I'm never gonna ask you again, right? It's when
That's me sometimes.
when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So give your spouse the opportunity to be able to at least start and get to where you are, and give them that, compassion to do that.
Yeah, I love that, and I think too, when we also look at, you touched on this earlier, meeting your partner with an activity that they enjoy, right? Because sometimes it's like
Meeting, where they are.
where are you at? And sometimes, just as an example, you hear a lot of husbands that like they love golf, and they're like, my wife doesn't like golf, but my wife wants me to get more active. So it's like a good compromise could be, hey babe, let's go play around 9 or 18. But like, even if I'm not playing with you, I'm on the cart, we're out there, whatever the case may be. And now, come on now, cute fit, or maybe, there's some walking, but now that's an activity that he enjoys. Maybe you get a chance to do that with him, right? And there's that opportunity, or you like golf, right? We're both out there playing, and now that's a whole new activity and thing that we can do together and just keep building.
Yeah, I love that. So it's interesting because this next one's, we hear a lot. This also is just when you are a couple in general, but obviously, right, feeling judged. Feel like you're nagging me a little bit. You're kind of on my back. I also feel like maybe I'm not supported.
Yeah.
So we've heard that a lot over time, and it can be discouraging for sure when you feel like you are being judged because you want to feel better. But this is also, again, coming back to, well, if it's not going to be something that's going to come from within the household on the accountability or even the motivation part, finding the outside source that is going to be able to do that for you. And, you sometimes can also start your journey in silence, in the sense of you're just making the changes. You'd be surprised how many people are looking and watching. Okay, I see that she did this. Ooh, and she had a little bit of extra parfait left and she left it for me. This looks pretty good. And now you start asking for that, right? You just be surprised at how often not only we've heard, but just you might have to start again on your own. Start your own journey sometimes and then wait for your spouse to be able to catch up to you. So we've heard this too. Have you ever heard of, I'm just trying to fix my partner?
We have. And I mean, think about
I'm trying to fix you. You're unhealthy. We have the test results, right? We've gone to the doctor, or you just notice it yourself. You've told me that you feel unhealthy. Let me fix you. Let me do that.
And nobody really wants to be on the other end. Especially when it's not a situation where it's like we're doing it together.
Right.
It does feel very much like I'm the, I'm in the lab, right? Or I'm the person that's being worked on in this scenario. And that can be hard, but I think what you said earlier of finding those little victories, and also I think there's something and I just think about having gone through a weight loss transformation and, even having yo-yoed and playing sports, just going through those highs and lows. Don't have shame wherever you are in your journey.
Right.
Because so often that shame will stop you from maybe sharing or talking to somebody or getting the help or in whatever that looks like. So literally, if you went and got that 6-piece cognac combo, I love it by the way. If you go and get a small diet Coke,
We need a cane
Cane's,
sponsor.
right? But don't shame because you got a diet Coke to go along with that. That literally could be your first step.
Right.
And then it goes from the 6-piece to a 4-piece. Then it goes from fried to grilled. But like that space that you can hold for yourself and not have the shame to talk to somebody or get the help can really accelerate that journey, but also open it up for your partner to not fix you, but be able to collaborate with you in that process.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying too is also, you wanna be able to listen to your partner, right? Where I'm not talking at you, but I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm also going to help you too. So if I know that you're struggling in these certain areas, right? Let's say you struggle on the snacking side, right? I'm not,
I love this, I'm a snacker.
you are a snacker.
Is it charcuterie board?
Charcuterie, right? If I know that that's the case, well then, okay, let me maybe prep some snacks for you that are going to be measured. So there's the portion control aspect.
I can't freehand it. When I freehand my snacks, they're all gone.
Yeah.
That was like the pandemic, quick.
Pandemic.
Circling back on the
Pandemic
snacks.
15.
It's like the kitchen was always open.
Yes, yes. So again, start listening to your spouse. Like, what are they saying to you? Kind of read in between the lines if you can, and then just start doing things that will be able to help them. Those little small changes that you need to be able to help them get to where they are. That I think that's just a really great way to help them get started, right? And kind of like that jump start. So the other thing too is set realistic goals, but also maybe have some shared goals, right? Because if you have kids, a shared goal is to see their wedding, see their graduation, right? See them be able to grow up and see your grandkids. So that can be a shared goal that you have together, but then also making it realistic, right? Where, okay, I know I'm trying to lose 10 pounds in 1 week.
Been there. Whatever, by any means.
By any means, like, is that actually realistic? I don't think so. Especially the average weight loss is anywhere from half of a pound to 2 pounds per week. So, and that's on average. So hopefully that lets somebody know of how long to that health, that's why it's called a journey. It's a health journey because it's a process. It's not something that's gonna be overnight. And there's times too, also for partners as well, men will typically lose more weight faster than women will, and that can be discouraging too, where it's like, oh my gosh, there's times you come to me and you're like, I lost 5 pounds this week. I said, what? I might have like gained a pound or lost a half a pound. I'm like, how? Okay, that's like applause for you, and I'm excited for you, and I always say like, I'm so excited for you. But sometimes I'm like, dang, I want to lose 5.
I can eat and gain it all back in one sitting.
Right.
If I don't be careful.
Right. So just setting those realistic goals, some shared goals, that will also be able to help you too with the motivation part, the discipline, the accountability, but I feel like most importantly, the connection. When you connect on a health and wellness journey and you're literally feeling better together, which is one of our taglines that we love to always mention, is you are doing this journey together. And although again, there may be different starting points, you're still being able to do it together, which is really amazing too when you think about being able to move forward. Something else too, I'm sure we've all been there, is making your spouse feel a little guilty. I'm not saying, right, where you can do a little bit of the guilt trip. It's like,
You wasn't this size when I met you. Some people feel so. That's what some people
the
say.
audacity.
Some people
And after
say
I've
that.
had all these kids,
That's
well,
some
you
people say
better.
that.
What?
That's some people, we done heard that before. We've heard people say that.
No, we literally have though.
We have. And
We
so,
have.
and sometimes like even those setting those dynamics right, being understanding of whether there's life changes, right, evolving, getting older, these different elements that do play a part, that you do have to have grace, but then also how can I support you on the path?
Right.
Like how do we really build a framework and a plan that supports us, and how do we do this together? And I know it can be a journey to get to that point, but sometimes, again, like we said, it's one person going to get that trainer, and now we're doing training together, or we're working out together, and just continue to stack those healthier habits to make that bigger kind of leap together. Because I mean, who doesn't want to feel their best?
Yeah.
And then also, who doesn't want to not feel their best while their partner feels their best?
Right.
Ooh, you get to feel like you dead weight.
Right.
Like,
Right.
dang, you know, my partner's looking cover ready, and I'm looking like I need to cover up. I don't want to be the one with the tank top on in the pool. You know, talking about, I had I ate too good in the off season, I'm not ready for summer, the summer flex.
Yes. But also, right, when you're eating the Oreos, right, where we talked about that earlier, right? You're eating Oreos and somebody says to you like, they make you feel guilty for that. You're like,
hey,
okay.
how many rolls? How
Don't,
many rolls is
why are
that?
you judging me?
Why you counting my Oreos?
You're counting my Oreos. You're
Watch my back,
judging
not
me.
my stack.
Literally, my stack of Oreos. And so, yeah, again, but just realizing how far positive encouragement and also just reinforcement can go, that just always try to go more positive if you can rather than being negative, because negative usually doesn't get the results that you're looking for. But if you're continuously pouring into your spouse and pouring that life into them, right, there's life and death is in the power of the tongue. So if you're saying to them, hey, I would really love for you to come on this walk with me, or I would love if you can help me meal prep a little bit, and tell me what you want to eat, tell me the ways that I can help support you, I can help you get to your journey. What can I do to get you to your best self?
And sometimes, you gotta do a little reverse psychology, like, have you been leaving out? You looking pretty, me? Who, me?
Who, me?
And all of a sudden it's like, I want to keep them compliments coming.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and, let me keep doing what I'm doing. Or that's the reminder of like, let me keep it up because it's paying off.
Yeah, you're right. So the good news is that we've talked a little bit about some of the problems that can happen on health and wellness journeys when you're doing it together as partners, but then also let's give a little bit more of the actionable steps that people can do. So something I like too is, just like we do the I am affirmations, maybe as a couple do, say we commit to. So we commit to this amount of walking, each night. We commit to having this amount of water, right? We commit to having this many hours of sleep, right?
We commit to these healthier, bringing in healthier snacks.
Correct.
Grocery shopping.
Correct. I feel like, right, like if we're saying these together too, write them down, maybe post them somewhere so you both can see them, say them together too, where you just takes like 3 minutes, right? Where you're just going through, we commit to this on our health and wellness journey. Now it's the shared goals. Now it's the shared vision. Now we're seeing, okay, we are in this together, and although I may not be where you are, I'm still committed to being on this health and wellness journey with you, but then also for myself.
And to that exact point, that wellness journey is really whole. It's like whole person.
Oh yeah.
Right? So the wellness is one piece of that, but you'll actually find that the dots connect from wellness even sometimes over to the financial house, right? A perfect example, one spouse or partner might be like, I'm in charge of the finances, and I really want us to be getting closer to whatever goal that you may have, right? Whatever that may be. That could be another reminder or a trigger for your partner where they may not be focused on the health and wellness goal, but they're focused on the financial goal. And you're like, hey, not only are we eating at home, but we're saving $200 a month because we're prepping at home and we didn't order those large pizzas or whatever it was. And now that can be a trigger for them, or maybe they're more financially conscious and health conscious today. And they're like, ooh, you're right, we did save $200.
Right.
And that's the thing. They're like, you know what, this food here at the house is good. And like, that's the bridge that you create. But finding what's that spot that's like, oh, like that's a green light. Let's follow that path.
Yes, and I love what you said, and I want to quickly add to that. We've had, just over the years, right, because our mission is to create generational health, and people always ask, well, how do I do that, right? What are some steps that I can do to get closer to that? So one of the things we've always said is to try to meal prep together, right? And try to really have age-appropriate stations for everybody that's in the household. And from there, you'll start seeing that again. We're getting back to a shared goal. We're getting back to a shared vision. And then people get really excited. Oh no, I made that. That rice, that tastes fire, that's me. Those snacks that, you have, and I made this like really delicious chocolate bar, right? That has like these almonds, it has, yogurt bars, that has, there's some seeds, there's some fruit in there. That's me. Like I made that.
Peanut butter jelly.
Yeah. So you're going back to positive psychology. You're building up your strengths. And so again, right, being in a position where you're able to have that shared goal, it brings a shared commitment. We as a family have a shared commitment to health and wellness. And then you're gonna start, again, we always say your kids will hold you accountable. You'll be very surprised when you start getting them on a routine and you start making the changes. Your kids are watching your every move. And we've seen, we've had family members that cook together, and sometimes it went from being a family thing to being like, actually there's two people, and then it's a husband, it's a father-daughter thing. And then that turns into that morphs into its own connection that gets even stronger, and you'd be just so surprised at how that can really change the trajectory of people's health and wellness journeys within the family. And it's just something so beautiful that we've seen over time that's really amazing. And again, right, I know sometimes if whoever is not necessarily the cook in the family, what we've noticed is doing something that you enjoy while doing something that you may not necessarily enjoy. So if I don't necessarily enjoy cutting up all these, I don't want to cut these strawberries and these grapes, and I don't want to wash this and do that, maybe throw some headphones in and listen to a podcast. Listen for you, right?
Listen to this podcast.
Listen to this podcast. It's listening to sports, right? Something of that nature where you're listening or doing something that you enjoy while you're not necessarily doing something that you don't.
Yeah.
But it gives you that opportunity to be able to contribute to the health and wellness goals of the family, which I think is really important.
Yeah, that collective and that family piece is so key, and then you start to see that everyone maybe has a different goal, but they're all moving in the same direction.
Correct.
Which could be
one step at a time.
For your kid, it might be making the little league team, or maybe getting more playing time in a sport, or whatever it is, starting on whatever that may be. But for you, it may be, I want to fit into the dress for the reunion, or I want to be able to, walk or run a 5K. Like there's all of these different things that you can have that are motivators or that are factors that now you can connect to with your family, with your loved ones, and now you're building more connection. Because you maybe didn't
As a family unit.
As a family unit, you maybe didn't, because we were eating out on the go and doing delivery, everybody was eating at KFC in their bedroom.
Correct.
And we didn't sit at the table and have dinner and cook together.
Yes.
And now ask, what are some of your wins from today?
Right.
What's one of the aspirations or things you want to accomplish this week? Like, it sounds basic, and but like these are things that could open up a whole nother conversation and level of support. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were going out for that new opportunity, or I didn't know that you were trying out for that team. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to go practice? Oh, now I'm getting my activity by catching your rebounds because you're shooting baskets out in the driveway.
Absolutely.
And as a whole family, we just had this whole cycle of prepping the meal together, talking about our goals and aspirations, maybe playing or doing whatever that is after the meal, and then it really just reinforces, again, that generational health that you want to pass down within the household.
You're absolutely correct. I would also say something too, if we're talking about doing things together, pray together. Pray for your health and wellness. Pray.
Families that pray together.
Stay together. So pray, right? Talk to God, even if sometimes that is on, or talk to whoever you believe in, but just that the power of prayer. You're also tapping into another energy source. That's something that we really noticed over these past few years. And on our last episode, we talked about, although we were in the church more often when we were first together, we feel like we're even more connected now to God and to what that light and that energy source is, and that's going to give you that extra boost of literally God, like pray to God if you're like, I don't have the strength, I don't have the courage, I don't have the motivation right now to go and go to the gym or go and get more activity with my family. Like I don't have the motivation about prayer. You'd be surprised. You get hit by the Holy Ghost and he hits you and you're like, whoa, I just got a wave of like, I'm ready to get out there and do what I need to in order for me to get healthy.
Yeah, and I love that you said that too in the faith side. That's such a big part for us and how we start the day, and also how we just stay focused and are continuing to stay tied and connected to the true source, right?
Right.
something that's been so powerful that I shared with you that I started more recently, but seeing this on the Bible app, but basically the idea of almost like closing your eyes and taking whatever those things are that you're maybe worried about or fearful of or concerned about, and like putting them into a box, like a imaginary box,
yeah.
right? But it may be like the fear that, you know, my family's not as healthy, or that so-and-so, you know, people don't typically live to their 80s and 90s and you want to live that long, or about work, or about whatever that may be, right? That you're not on the journey at the same pace with your partner, but putting that literally into that imaginary box and closing that box, but then giving that box to God, literally handing it to you. You will feel a weight lifted, but that's where the faith comes in, which is truly believing forward action and trusting Him, right?
Yes.
Or in trusting God, because now you've given it to Him, but you actually released it. You're
Yes.
not still worried about that thing that you just said that you gave to Him, which maybe is, how are you gonna find a way that me and my partner get on this journey together?
Yes.
Like, it literally just know that catalyst is coming.
You're absolutely correct, and I just want to add two things. Number one, pray for your partner, pray for your family. Prayer doesn't always have to be about you. It can be about, I want my husband to join me on the walks. I pray that he is, you know, has the strength and the courage to also be able to talk to me about any of his health journeys, right? And also, you know, this is something that we've also talked about too, is that it can be difficult for men specifically to go to the doctor and just get the checkups. And so praying for your husband that he gets that revelation, or that he has the courage to go, and even finding, you know, maybe he can go with his best friend, something like that, where it's like a partner thing, not necessarily with you as the spouse, but maybe he and his best friend can go, right? Where it's just that encouragement of, I want you to be your best self, and you don't even know that I'm praying for you per se, but I am every day. So that was number one that came to me. Number two was, when we talk about the power of prayer, you would be so surprised at God's speed, right? Like, He moves miracles, and to that point, right? Or if your partner has an ailment already, praying for that ailment to go away. I mean, listen, there's a reason why when you're in church and, you know, people ask, does anyone want any prayer? And you go up there and it's like, can you pray for me, please? Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, you spot on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have the congregation pray for something health and wellness wise. I remember even when we were at your family reunion, and, you know, there was a health and wellness section at the family reunion, which I loved. I thought that was absolutely amazing, where somebody that was an elder was talking about, hey, these are our predispositions, and literally raise your hand if you know somebody.
Put two hands
You
up.
know what I'm saying? If stroke, right? Colon, heart disease, right? All of these things. And now you, as the power of prayer as a family or just together, you'd be so surprised at what can really happen in the change of heart that people can have. And then also, just lastly, is the scripture, which is, you know, give your worries and anxieties to God. And that's what I think you were essentially saying with the box, is put it into that box and give it to God, because there's some times where you just can't do it. I just don't have the strength, I don't have the courage, I don't have the wherewithal to be able to, or the tools to be able to move on my journey, but I want to, and I feel intrinsically that I want to be able to move forward. And so, God, can you help me?
And I really appreciate the fact that you called that out when you talked about the prayer too. And I think there's somebody listening that maybe like, well, what about the people that don't know how to pray or what to pray?
Yeah, sure.
What does that even look like?
Right.
And I would say it literally is just having a conversation.
That's it.
The
Have a
same way that you
conversation.
would talk to a trusted friend,
Yes.
a trusted confidant, someone that will never turn their back on you,
Yes.
deny you, or ridicule you, look at you crazy.
Mhm.
You can literally talk to God about anything,
Mhm.
but also knowing that there is action that's working behind the scenes, but that's where that faith comes in, right? Because if you truly believe,
Faith of mustard seed.
faith of a mustard seed, that I know that this is gonna be able to be overcome.
Mhm.
And, you know, you mentioned, the curls is popping. Last time I was at my barber shop, one of the barbers I saw on Facebook, his dad was under, I went to the hospital, he was asking for prayer, just from his Facebook family.
Yes.
Pray for my dad, like, don't know. So when I saw him, I said the prayer, I saw that, I was like, man, God, cover him. I don't know him, but just, cover his dad. Saw him at the barbershop, said, hey man, how's your dad doing? I saw it on Facebook. He didn't like message me personally. He said, man, my dad went to the hospital. They went and like either opened him up or they went and did a deeper dive, and he was totally fine. He's back home.
Yes.
Like back
God
to
is
normal life. I
good.
was like, wow.
Love
But
that.
the power of prayer, it
Amen.
literally changed with the doctor's diagnosis, what he thought, his fear and concern to, man, dad is literally, it was a misdiagnosis.
Mhm.
Dad's A-okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and right, and join a prayer circle, right? If that's something too, you can literally Google it now. You can find it on social media, and then if you, to your point, if you don't know how to have that conversation yet, then if you want to write it down, there's a prayer journal, right? And write it down in a prayer journal is a great way too. So these are some real questions that we want you all to ask each other, and potentially take it a step further and also ask your kids, or if you're multi-generational, ask everybody in the household. But what does being healthy mean to you right now?
Yeah, right now, I said being healthy, I'm gonna do this rapid fire. Healthy,
Oh, okay, it wasn't
Okay.
necessarily for.
Yeah, being healthy to me is being able to reach my fullest potential.
Yes,
So, me wanting to run 5Ks and 10Ks, and running, like, doing the things that I aspire to do, but sometimes you push, like, most people stop running after like 20 or 30.
yeah,
So I want to be able to push myself to those limits. I would say it's something that I'm re-envisioning, redefining.
yeah, absolutely. No, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna go a little bit more rapid fire here. How can I support your health without taking over?
I want you to answer that. I want you to answer that.
The second question?
Yeah,
How can you support my health without taking over?
yeah.
The good news is you don't take over, so that's the great news. I think for me though, a lot of it is the preparation, right? Where you're helping. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've prepped some chicken, right? Where you prepped the chicken,
Glove up,
you
marinate.
marinated it, right? You've done the whole thing. Because I told you, I think a couple of the last 2 times I did it, I was like, the way that this is feeling, I'm getting actually a little nauseous. I don't really want to do this anymore. Like, oh no worries, I've got this. So that's actually one way, because without taking over, it's just on the preparation, being able to help me there is key. Because we do the cold pressed juices. That takes a long time to just prep, and then you're making the rice and it's just a lot that can go into the meal prep. So having the additional help, it takes such a weight off of at least my shoulders.
I
So
thought you were gonna say dishes.
okay, but my health, kind of.
Yeah.
Mental health, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's one simple healthy habit we can do together this week?
One healthy habit we can do together this week, it's one we've already done, but we're gonna do it again, is get our activity in together. So, and actually I'm gonna go super basic, because most people are like, oh, y'all can go to the gym together. No, but one of the things that we're gonna do is, instead of taking like the escalator, or like we're gonna take the stairs, or we're gonna walk on an area that we could take, like, so these are like the simple steps of just like, let's get some extra activity, and just being mindful that like that counts if it's not going into the gym.
Absolutely, I love that. So we want you to ask these questions again to your spouse, and sit down, have this conversation, and try to be as, we always say hot. That's what a part of Coupley Fit is, being humble, open, and transparent. And, even saying before, this is a judge-free zone. And mean it, right? Like, don't just say it and then you're judging somebody.
Don't
Like we
stuff
talked about,
Oreos.
you're judging me, making me feel guilty. It's just small steps, right? You don't, just because you see a family, or you see, these fit couples on IG that are doing all these crazy workouts, right? Listen, that's great for inspiration, or if you need to feel a little bit motivated, that's a great, let's pull it up. Okay, this is making me want to go and, hit the gym or go for that walk. But know that your journey is yours, and you have to do the work. And just because you see somebody else in that space, you don't know what they had to do to get there. They might be 15 years in, right? So just being mindful of that, I think is really key. And just a couple of other things is, alignment doesn't mean that you have to be identical, right? You don't have to have the identical goals, shared goals, yes, but identical, not necessarily. Focus on your shared experiences where, again, having the open conversations about what your experience is with health and wellness, what's my experience with health and wellness, how can I support you and get you maybe past some of your triggers too. That can be another way as well. And lastly is really celebrate your small wins. Literally, like, that's something I think that is so overlooked because it's, even for us sometimes, right, we're on our weight loss journey right now, and although we have our goal weight, sometimes we'll catch ourselves being like, I'm not at my goal weight, like, I'm getting closer, but like, I'm not there. And it's, hold on, progress over perfection. Always celebrate those small wins, celebrate together, high five, a text message, a good booty tap, all those.
Good game?
A good game. All of those things. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, that was spot on. I know this is gonna bless somebody.
Yes, because this is something we get asked all the time is how do you guys do it together? So hopefully this blessed you. If it did, share it to the group chat, share it with another couple that you think can use it. And again, as always, please like and subscribe if you're following us on YouTube. If you are on social media watching our clips, please also share with, DM it to some people at CoupleyFit, CoupleyFit. Until next time, keep glowing, growing, and feeling better together. Bye.